Hey guys, my name's Anston and I'm a baker from Cupcake Heights. This is our first tutorial video, so subscribe, like us on Facebook, please comment. Today we'll be making a vanilla cupcake. So our first step will be, I probably reckon that's the most important step in getting a very light, airy cupcake, is beating your butter and sugar. We'll start off with beating the butter first so it becomes creamy, so it's ready to get incorporated with your caster sugar. So here I have added my 250 grams of butter into my KitchenAid. You can either use a hand mixer, but it's always good to have a stand mixer because you can get your other work done till your butter and your sugar gets done. Start off with a slow mix first, and then increase speed to medium. So there my butter is all ready for the sugar to get incorporated now. So I'm adding my 1 cup of caster sugar, or as you can call it, granulated sugar. Let it be for 5 to 10 minutes, what I do personally, so till I feel the caster sugar is very close to being completely incorporated and you can't feel any granules in your sugar. And make sure you scrape the bowl down every 3 minutes or so, so you don't have your butter and your sugar separated, so mix all together. Now this has been beating for around 10 minutes now. If you look at this, it's actually pale and creamy, and it doesn't have the yellow color of the butter anymore. And if you look at this, there's a tiny bit of sugar left, so I'll probably beat this for another minute or two, because you don't have to have your sugar completely dissolved, but I would like for it to get a bit more of air, so I'll probably beat it for another minute. So I'll start adding my eggs into it. Make sure you don't have your beater going when you're adding your eggs, because in case a tiny bit of shell falls into it, there goes your whole mixture down the drain. So once I put my first egg in, oh that's heavy, I'll let it beat for another few seconds. Add your second egg in. If your mixture actually gets curdled a bit, that's fine. You don't have to worry and throw it away thinking it's all gone bad and you can't reuse it. Just take a tablespoon or two from your flour mixture that you've prepared already and just add into your mixture, and it all gets into a perfectly formed mixture again and it's not curdled anymore. So once you mix both your eggs in, make sure you actually scrape everything down, because you need to make sure your butter's mixed properly, your sugar's been mixed properly, and specifically your egg. Because what happens is when you're baking it in the oven over time, sometimes you wonder why you get a few bubbles on the top or why you got a bit of a dent, even though you did not actually open the oven or even try to be the curious body trying to make sure your cupcakes are rising. That's because chunks of egg, you know how you have your egg white which needs to be incorporated properly, it has a bit of chunks here and there, that has not been mixed in properly. So make sure you scrape everything down and actually give it another mix for around 10 seconds or so, and then we'll be ready to add the rest of our ingredients in. So once your egg, butter and sugar mixture has been incorporated properly, we'll start adding our dry and wet ingredients. So your wet would be your vanilla essence and your milk. So beforehand, I've already sifted my flour and my baking powder and salt together. I usually would recommend you to sift it at least 2 to 3 times so you get no air and the flour and everything's broken down properly and you don't have lumps in it anymore. So I'll first start adding 1/3 of my flour in. And make sure, because this is now the most crucial part of baking a cupcake, you don't want to overbeat your mixture. You don't want all that air to go away. You want the air to be in the cupcake so it's moist and fluffy. So put it on your lowest possible point you can. So my one's at 1. Make sure it's incorporated a bit properly. And then I personally stop it. You don't have to stop it, but I usually do. Add a bit of milk. Oops, just spilled a bit. So keep on doing that till you finish with all your flour and your milk. So I'm done with my mixture. I've got my cupcake tray lined with the patty pans. And you could either, if you don't have any of these, you could either spray a bit of your vegetable oil or olive oil spray, or any oil spray you have, and you can just put your cupcake batter into it. I always use an ice cream scoop because an ice cream scoop would give you an exact volume of the cupcake going in, so you don't have cupcakes that are big, cupcakes that are small or medium sized. All the cupcakes will look professional and it will be the same size. So try to put always into the middle so it rises evenly. So I have done this now, and all you have to do is put it into the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes. I'll probably tell you to start checking it around 15 minutes. Please do not open if you haven't seen it risen. If you do open, there's a tendency for it to fall down, it'll deflate, and you'll have a dent in your cupcake. After all the hard work, you really don't want that to happen. So put it in for 15 to 18 minutes, depending on how good your oven is. Because sometimes what happens with some ovens, there are heat spots in the oven, so you need to figure out where it is and, you know, balance it out and put it in. And then I'll see you in around 15 minutes. Hey guys, so I baked my cupcakes. I baked in 2 batches. It gave me around 24 to 26 cupcakes. What you can do is you can double the batch to get around 44 cupcakes. Make sure you use an ice cream scoop so it gives you equal size. As you see, all my cupcakes are equal in size. None are big or small. And you actually want a nice golden brown to the top of your cupcakes. And you would also like a nice light brown on the bottom, which actually gives your cupcake very nice taste. So, that was our first tutorial on vanilla cupcakes, as you call yellow cupcakes in some places. You need a nice light brown on the top of the cupcakes and a nice light brown on the bottom of your cupcakes and a nice golden color on the top of your cupcakes. Make sure you check your cupcakes when it has a nice dome, or you are sure that it's actually baked throughout a bit. Double check. I usually take my cupcakes out when it's a bit soft on the top, so it has more time to cook outside, because when you're keeping your cupcakes for around 5 to 10 minutes in the baking in the cupcake tin, it still cooks throughout it. So I would recommend you to put it throughout the 15 to 18 minutes, because it's going to make your cupcake dry. And that was the first tutorial. I'll teach you next time, or I'll show you next time how to do your frostings. I'll be also putting out the chocolate cupcake. That's a super moist cupcake. That recipe I've been having for a while. I'll teach you how to frost both the cupcakes. So see you next time. Comment, subscribe, like us, and don't forget to check the link on the conversions. So have a good day, guys.